Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be replacing these cheap Amazon Raptor lights I got a couple of years ago with these Z1 grill lights or Raptor lights. I got these lights on Amazon, like I said, a couple of years ago, and as you can see, they're already starting to go out. They started flashing, and now two of them are just almost out altogether. So reached out to Z1, and they sent me these Raptor lights, which we're really appreciative of. And so we will get started on this install. All right, so this is what comes from Z1. We've got 4 of these lights, and I went with the white lights. As y'all seen across the truck, I usually prefer the white over the amber on everything. I just like the look of it, and I really don't have any amber lights, and so it would just be weird to have this one amber set. Got some fuses here, and then this is the wiring kit, which looks a lot nicer than the one I got from Amazon. I had to do a lot of rigging on that, but as you can see, there's a spot for 1, 2, 3, 4 lights, and then a long cable to your fuse box, which they've already got an add a fuse installed and a grounding point. And then they send this red bag with the brackets that you'll need for each light, with screws, a couple of stickers. All right, let's take off the grill. All right, our first step to remove the grill is to remove these 6 push tabs, which you can use with just a flathead screwdriver. If you just wedge underneath that, you can just pull that up. So you've got 6 of those. Okay, after you get those removed, we have 3 T20 screws we need to remove. So there's one here, one there, and then one at the other end. And so you'll just need a T20 bit or a T20 screwdriver to remove those. Okay, so this is pretty much ready to be lifted up, but there's 6 push tabs. Hard to see, but 6 push tabs right here that you kind of have to either use your finger or screwdriver to work your way down the line so that then you can pull this up. As you can see, sometimes it's tough to get around that hood release latch for the truck hood, and so just work your way. You can kind of bend that grill cover to, work your way around that. All right, to remove the grill, there's kind of a bracket here, a bracket on the other side. All you'll need to do is just really firmly pull this, and then once you pull it, there's a tab. The light is right on it. There's a tab right there. It's a little clip that you'll just reach down and undo that clip over here, and then over on the passenger side right there, and that will remove it. Okay, so there are a number of clips. There's 1, 2, 3, and there's 1 right in the middle, 4, and then 5, 6, 7. So 7 clips along here. And because of this vent thing that is supposed to fold and keep the engine warmer, it's tough to actually get your hands back in there. I've got to disconnect the impact sensor from the front because I relocated it there when I redid the truck's bumper with the CBI bumper. So there's a few electrical components I need to disconnect, then I can pull this grill away. You can see the old ones. This one's already fallen off, and they did not secure well to the grill itself. I continually had to add like some clear coating and glue to try to keep it staying there. You can see some of the glue there. So I'm just going to undo this old stuff and get rid of it first. Okay, so I've got the old lights off, and I'll work to install the new ones. Okay, so I'll just do a sample one to show you what it looks like. But you open a bag, and it's got these thumb screws with some nuts. Then it's got a bracket. And then here's a light. So the light doesn't necessarily have a top or a bottom, but I'm going to say this is the bottom where it says DOT SAE. And then the bracket will be installed like this. So this lip will sit here on the back of the grill. And then the light has these two holes on either side. They'll slip onto that. And then I'm thinking that the nuts go over those. And I don't know that I've got a small enough ratchet. I'll see what I have to tighten those down, but it may be good just to hand tighten them. Okay, so I've got this light tightened on the bracket, and I just used an adjustable crescent wrench. And then I would go ahead and get these thumb screws started and then tighten them once this is on the grill. And this is all plastic. It's a nice metal frame, but the grill is plastic, and so I'm not trying to go too tight here. I'm just trying to torque it down as much as my fingers can. And so that's one light. I'll get the other three installed now. Okay, they provided these tiny little zip ties. And they were difficult to put on while each light was screwed on. So I actually unscrewed each light and secured the wiring to the light. Again, very tiny zip tie, very tough if you've got bigger fingers. So just something to take into consideration when you're installing this. Do you have the right fingers to be able to get in these tight spaces? So I've run this, and then I have run the cable down below this vent. Like I said, I've run it through here, and then I am running it underneath this part of the body. And then as I move it, you can kind of see where it's going. So it's going to go beside the battery. And then the negative terminal, the black, the ground, I'm actually just going to run to the negative side of the battery. You can see I've done it for many other things. You could also attach it to this screw here. That's a good grounding spot. Actually, this screw right here would be the best for the ground since it's right on the body. And then I'll show you which fuse to tap into underneath the fuse box. I'll link here in this video, a link to my original Raptor light install. I go into more detail into this, but for now, I'm just going to want to install the add fuse from the lights that they sent. Tap it into just below that 15, so in between that 15 and that row of 10s. That's a 10 amp fuse that you're tapping into. So just underneath that 15 should be another red 10 that not there because I've already tapped into it once before. So I'm going to put a 10 amp fuse in this empty spot in the add fuse. You can see an orange one that looks like a 5 right there, so that means it's 5 amps to power these grill lights. It's tapping into a 15 amp, sorry, it's tapping into a 10 amp fuse, so I'm going to make sure to put a 10 amp fuse in that spot. I think they might have sent one with, look here. Yeah, I think this came in the Z1 packet, so there's probably a 10 amp fuse, maybe that red one there. Yep, you see that red 10, so I'm just going to put that in to that empty spot. Okay, super easy install. If you go back and watch my old video, the first grill light install is a lot tougher because I actually didn't take the grill off. I was just trying to wedge my hands in between that damper thing that came on 2022 and 3. I don't think they're on the 4 and 5s. So if you don't have that, super easy. But if you do have to take the grill off, again, these Z1 lights are super nice, super sturdy, super easy to install. So between that video, the one I just made, the old one, you should be able to put it all together easily enough. Also, this just happens to be coming out like the day after Canadian Cruisin' just did his install. I think his video is great, but maybe there's like 2 followers that don't subscribe to him that might find this video helpful. So again, like, subscribe, comment. Every little bit helps. Till next time, guys.